Have you here?
I'm here. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
welcome in Theta.
Thank you so much for having me. Are we ready?
We are ready, but
Theta.
here, can you talk a little bit about the map itself first? Like
Yeah,
who created the map
absolutely.
and where's it from?
Right. So this is part of a big pack of maps called the D-Sides. It's made by Monica. It's probably, well, maybe not once the collab comes out, but it's probably the biggest map pack in terms of Celeste modding. I'm not sure. Maybe Dadbot can correct me on that. But
Shouts to Monica. Shout out to Monica.
It's one of them, but yeah,
yeah,
shout out to Monica.
it's certainly my favorite map pack for Celeste. It's the reason that it's called the D sides is for people who've played the original game. You know, there's A sides, B sides, and C sides, and Monica made this set of D sides, which is just extending the difficulty of the core game. And for the most part, it's not adding any new mechanics that don't already exist in the original game. So you've seen already, like Oppen played a map that has a bunch of new mechanics in it. Uh, this map and most of the maps in the D sides don't have any new mechanics in them at all. They're just extensions of the original maps, but just significantly more difficult.
Okay, so on the terms of on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being prologue, how difficult is this map?
I guess I'd say like 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Okay, 8 or 9.
I don't want to say like 10 because there are maps that I've played that are harder. But it's certainly one of the hardest, and especially if you're going for an extremely low death count. It's very precise. It requires you to remember and basically be confident about every single move you make in the entire map. So like you have to sort of memorize and know how to execute every single move without really, you know, some maps you can play and just sort of look at the screen and say, okay, that's basically what I want to do, and go for it. But in this map, that doesn't work. In this map, you have to know every single move you're going to make before you make it.
Okay, well, without further ado, then let's get into it.
Okay, I am going to be donating $1 for every death.
Oh, here we go. Donating $1 for every death.
Here we go.
You're about to see the first deathless run.
I'm gonna try to talk. You'll have to excuse me if I don't.
We have
talk at all.
Dad Bods in here, right?
Yo, you got me.
Guys, this is
How am I
Dad Bod. Shout outs to Dad Bod. He's going to be talking a little bit about the $1. He's going to be talking a little bit about the map. I don't know too much about it, and Theta's in focus mode, so welcome into Dad Bod.
Yo, how's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me all right? Chat, what's up? Yeah, so we're going to take probably just a little bit of time. I know, just like, you know, with anything, get a little bit nervous. I see those deaths, Theta. It's okay, it's for a good cause. But you know, for anyone who's played this map, like, you know, this is truly one of the hardest maps that are out there. It was, I remember for me personally, when I did this, I died 8,495 times, and it was just like super rough. Yo, chat. Okay, everyone can hear me, it looks like. How's everyone doing? Dude, first and foremost, you guys, shout out to all of you. Look at, not only did we like crush the goal, but already at $1,126. So super proud of.
Give it up. Give it up, guys.
Yeah.
This is a great cause.
Yeah, that's huge. Super proud of everyone. Like, this is really important, you know, for, as we'll talk a little bit later, you know, with the collab, we actually, and the reason that we picked this charity is when we made the collab, we do have the soundtrack that will be available on streaming platforms. And as part of that, you're going to be able to, like, we're able to monetize that. So when we were thinking about, like, where would this money go, one of the suggestions was to pretty much leave it up to the developers of Celeste. And I reached out to Noel, and they kind of all got together as a team, and they decided that Trans Lifeline was where they wanted the money to go. So I was really excited that we were able to kind of do this for this event as well, because it's obviously a great cause, as you guys heard earlier. So I do appreciate it. Don't let the Don't let the donation stop at 1126 though. Like, this is much needed funds. Like, it's definitely going to a totally awesome cause.
Yeah, that's a great point. This is not a charity that we picked at random. This was something that the creatives behind Celeste specifically suggested. So that's why we chose it.
Yeah, time to raise that goal. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I could see if I could do that while this is happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for. Shoot, let's hit it to 15 hundo.
Let's give it
I'm trying to get there myself here.
Yeah.
Theta might bring us personally to 1500.
Let's go. No, it's all good. You know, I mean, me personally, like, just, you know, when you have this many people, like, you know, they're definitely, there are a lot of nerves, you know, when you first get started. But, you know, this is obviously for a great cause. You know, it's for anyone who's been keeping track of this. Like, 7D was kind of one of those, like, it's like the hardest map you can play and now get a golden on, because personally I didn't think when this first came out, I don't know that I thought anyone was going to get the gold on this. It just seemed like so out of reach for me. And then obviously Enox, shout out to Enox if you guys haven't seen that video. It actually gets me emotional when I watch the video of Enox beating and golden strawberrying 70, because it's just like the emotional toll that had to take is just insane.
Yeah, that's actually insane that someone golden this.
Yeah, Enox is yeah, crazy. God gamer mode.
Shouts to Enox, true gamer. Speaking of true gaming, man, this is. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like in awe of what I'm seeing here. For anybody who's played any like the harder stuff, I mean, this is like as hard as I've ever seen.
Theta, you got to go for it.
Is this another skip?
Go for the funny one. There it is.
Okay, dude.
That's the funny one.
Okay.
GG.
Shoutouts to Theta.
Yo, nice. That was clean.
Doing the impossible here.
Yeah, so as we get like deeper into this, and for anyone who hasn't seen 7D, like this for a really long time was kind of the benchmark for just pretty much the hardest thing you could do in the game. I mean, the amount of tech that's required to make this happen was insane. Even like, you know, the, you know, quote unquote the best players are, you know, still can struggle with this. It's a tough one for sure.
I see a lot of like stamina management stuff. A lot of these neutral jumps.
Yeah, Moni is great with stamina puzzles. That's one of the reasons why I like this so much. I love the stamina puzzles. Not as big a fan of cycles, but Theta's way better at cycles than I am.
No.
Dude, I'm so bad at cycles.
I think, yeah, a lot of people, you know, casually and speedrunners, and, you know, the cycles are just the hardest things.
Nice. That room, I remember watching Theta just like practice this room. That is not an easy room at all to get those cycles in.
Oh my God.
That was clean.
This is nuts. How is he even doing this, says Donker.
Oh, nice skip.
We don't know. We don't know, Donker. We don't know.
Let's go. And these types of rooms actually get pretty consistent just because they line up really well with neutrals. So if you can neutral jump, you'd typically be in good shape. Nice, good save.
Thanks, Tripticon, for the $10 donation to Trans Lifeline as we have increased our goal to 1,500.
Yo, Tripticon, what's up? Friend of the channel.
Oof, man, I'm like, my palms are sweating just watching this.
Nice. Yeah, that part right there is actually really kind of tough to time. This room probably gave me the most difficulty in as far as like some of the last rooms, I was stuck here for a really, really, really long time.
Oh god, this is.
So she's just weaving through all this.
I'm having like a physical response to watching this.
Me too.
Yeah, my knees are next, guys. I got my eyes are on my knees just in case the next progression. I already got the sweaty palms, so.
Let's go. We go with the classic Theta 3 times, and then we do it. Oh no!
Oh no!
Gotta do it again.
No. Oh no!
That was close.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I realize there's stream delay. I shouldn't spoil.
Actually, no. Stream delay should be pretty minimal.
It should be, yeah. It should
Because
be
we're
online with what you're doing.
That's the difference between the Discord and Twitch. Discord's like instant.
Well, it sounds like Dadbod might be watching this through Twitch.
Oh, true. Yeah.
I accidentally switched it because I was paying attention to chat too. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
There's a lot going on.
Your reactions were on like rooms that I had already finished, so I was like, it's fine.
Yeah, it might be. Do a good skip. Oh wait, excuse me.
Blue Eye says, "Why not $5 per death?"
I'm not good enough for that. I'm not good enough for that.
Was that a Deathless 1500?
I believe it was, yeah.
Yep.
Deathless 1500. GG.
This room is another one that's just like a bane of my existence. And if you guys notice, so go ahead, Theta.
This first move is pixel perfect, so it's fairly easy to do. You just have to keep leaving the room when you don't get the setup. That's why you saw me leave the room a couple times there and go back, because it's just a pixel perfect lineup. Now, this room, you're supposed to use both of these blocks all the way to the top, but we're not going to be doing that because that's lame. We're just going to leave that block behind and take this one.
Nice.
We don't need both. Now, the next room after this one, this is probably like, at least for me, this was the hardest room.
Oh my god, look at this wind.
This room took me, I think, 5 hours. My first playthrough. So we'll see how it goes.
So you're actually hitting these snowballs is actually, you have to do it. Like yeah. Okay, this is crazy. Shouts again to Monica.
Oh, nice. Good lineup.
Oof. Wow.
That was...
Yeah, so that room, when you don't know the strat for that room, it is seriously one of the hardest rooms. In my opinion, it is one of the hardest rooms I've ever played to just figure out what to do. In fact, that room was the reason that for many months I was not playing this map anymore. After I finished the first playthrough, I really wanted to keep playing the D-sides again, just because I enjoy them so much, but this was a map I was staying away from because that room, that was the only reason. And then Habidaz, shout out to Habidaz. Habidaz taught me a strat for that room, and I think it's the strat that most people use who run this. And it makes the room, it takes the room from the hardest room for me casually to one of the easiest rooms in the run.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I just got to interrupt really quickly. Insomniac Toaster with a $250 donation to Trans Lifeline.
Yo,
let's go.
thank you so much.
Let's go. Thank you so much, Toaster.
This room is really cool. It's all swap blocks, the whole room. And the swap block platforming in that room is really fun.
Sick.
Monica's really good at making rooms that stick really rigorously to a single theme. And that's actually a really good quality for maps, for map making in general, no matter what game you're making maps for, is you don't want to just throw every single thing into the map. You really want to focus on limiting your options and doing the most you can with those options. And Monica is particularly good at that. So you'll see a lot of rooms that only have 1 or 2 mechanics in them. And that's something that you see in almost all of the maps that she makes. and it's one of the reasons that I think her maps are some of my favorites. Just all the rooms feel, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's
No,
it's a
no.
good
I think
quality
you
in
I
map
think you
making.
explained it really, really well. Actually, it's again, I imagine for somebody who's just starting to make maps or getting into it, personally, I would think like an initial thought would be like, I'm gonna make it really hard. I want to make a really hard map, or like you said, I'm gonna throw like everything in here. I'm gonna have you know, spikes, bubbles, and seekers and everything. But I think good map making and fun to make fun maps, it's about more restraint, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
Shouts once again to Monica for making this.
Yeah, I have to say that in my
Insanity.
opinion, up until this point, that 7D is some of the best core platforming in the game, especially in the next checkpoint, which we'll hopefully be getting to soon. There's some rooms in the next checkpoint that are just amazing.
Yeah, insanely good.
And guys, by the way, coming up, we're gonna have Holly show off a little bit more about map making and talking about what makes a fun map to play, and a little bit of like the psychology behind it. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be really fun.
Oh no!
Just another $1 for Trans Lifeline.
This is
Going
a really,
for it.
really, really long room, so deaths in here are pretty costly.
Yeah, you hate to see it.
I'm assuming. I mean, this is probably. I'm assuming people speedrun this, right?
I know Ruby speedruns it. Enox has a second place time on it with the golden run. Because obviously not dying is inherently fast.
Yeah.
Actually, I've checked a few times, and on some of my runs, I think I'm hitting third place on the leaderboard. I mean, there's only 6 people on the leaderboard, so.
Yeah.
Um,
This is a difficulty that not a lot of people can manage.
Let's
Oh,
go.
the bubbling, the bubbling.
Sick. All right, the funny part. Those door skips.
yeah, that room has 2 fake endings because Monica.
Yeah, just loves being evil.
The battle line throws, you know, usually you're so happy and you feel so much relief, and you put your controller down, and the battle line throws you into another section.
Oh
Yeah.
no. That's evil.
All right, so this is the hardest checkpoint by far. So pretty much everything you've seen up to this point is easier than almost everything in this checkpoint.
Oh, speaking of Monica in the chat.
Yo, Monica in the house. What's up?
Absolute legend. Monica. I just picture Monica like in a darkened basement and just evil maniacal laughter and like
So you've visited Monica personally. It's
just
beautiful.
like thunder crashing in the background as these levels are being created.
Yeah, it's just like a normal day. That's like Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, so as you guys are watching this, obviously, like, this is probably some of the most intricate platforming that we had for a really, really long time, while still maintaining, like, what I would consider, like, fair gameplay. And that's another huge part of, like, your map making, if you do it, is, like, it's hard, yeah, but is it, you know, it can also be fair.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, you know, and as we'll see, Holly will talk a whole bunch about like what makes, you know, good fun gameplay rather than, well, here's just a bunch of spikes.
Yeah,
like to
frustrating.
To the untrained eye,
Yeah.
Yeah, to the untrained eye, this looks like just a bunch of spikes and deaths, but every move is timed out pretty precisely. Like in most D-side rooms, there is a setup for pretty much everything. You just have to know what it is. Sometimes it's not the most obvious, but
Next flag.
yeah.
This
I
flag
feel
right
like-
here.
Yes.
When you first encounter this flag, it might seem pretty mysterious what you're supposed to do here. But as you can see... Okay, of course
Okay.
I die.
Oof.
What
there's
what
actually
are you
a
doing?
pretty
I don't.
solid setup.
What are you doing there?
So all of the spinners up above here are pixel perfect gaps. What I'm doing to make the setup work is I'm grabbing the side of that crumble block platform and I'm just jumping straight up off of it.
Okay, for the setup.
That sets you up for the pixel perfect gaps. Something else to note about Monica's maps that I also love, besides literally everything, is that oftentimes you might encounter something that seems too hard, and that's because it probably is. Monica loves to put like setups in her maps that force you to figure out. It's almost like a small puzzle you have to solve, which is, here's this thing that is basically impossible to achieve. So there must be a way to do this consistently, and there always is. And actually, the Chapter 9 D side is full of that. Like, one of the rooms have those pixel perfect setups in them, and it's one of my favorite things.
Also, shout out to I saw Ruby Dragon pop up in chat. What's up?
Hey, Ruby.
Yeah, so I think Ruby is the one that has the world record for this one. I could be wrong about that.
Ruby does a lot of their streams with the D sides. Crazy good. Also, you probably saw them when 90 was first like being announced, did a speed run and showed off the trailer room, which was an evil room that ended up getting a lot harder. But all right, guys, $1,406 raised benefiting Trans Lifeline.
Insane.
We got that stretch goal of 1,500. Let's go. I'm loving it. We appreciate it. I know that, there are a lot of people in here who could, like, personally, I know personally are going through a lot of this stuff, and, like, it means a lot to them. It's, like, the core of the Celeste community. I know that the devs, it means a lot to them, too. This was obviously the charity that they picked. So, like, obviously, big shout out and thanks to you guys.
Yeah, and I just love the idea of a resource that's it's just like someone, it seems like just someone to talk to. Obviously there's more, they do a lot more than just being there, but I think anytime maybe you're struggling with something and you just want someone to talk to, and this is a hotline that they're going to be there and they're going to have people who are familiar and kind of have gone through something similar, and I just think it's such a good idea to have that kind of communication available.
You want to talk about these cloud jumps, Dad Bod?
Dude, yeah, so these cloud jumps are actually pretty evil. This was something that I found to be, like, really tough when I was first learning it, because obviously, like, the core game teaches you that, that pink cloud just goes away, and, you normally would get your full bounce off of that, but doing a short hop gives you a little bit of distance, and it makes sure that you're not, bonking your head. And then, as you can see, we get like that double cloud bounce. When that cloud comes back up the second time, it actually gives you a little bit of height, which is really cool. And it's pretty much required. Here's a skip of this flag. Very nice. It's probably the easiest thing to skip in this entire map.
Yeah, so those clouds in that previous flag were placed exactly on top of spikes, so that if you don't jump the moment that you land on them, then you die.
Yeah, it's over for you.
This is crazy. I just had to check like the way I was sitting, because I realized I'm like so into watching this that I'm just like on the edge of my seat.
Nice.
I'm literally on the edge of my seat here.
Awesome. That last flag 4 is extremely tough. I remember watching Theta do that room for just hours, getting it to a perfect spot. This is another great example of like just how like the setups work, just jumping up here. Flag 2, the infamous flag 2.
We gotta give shout outs to this cursed binocular watchtower. Doesn't let you look at anything.
Wow, nice, Monica. Just binos that just are broken.
That is the best troll.
That's so
and
good.
For a lot of you guys who have played Flag 2, like this like hits way differently than others. This was easily the hardest room I had ever completed, and it took me just hours to complete. I know a lot of people were kind of in the same boat. This just features a ton of really tight gameplay, but it is so satisfying to beat. And it's a long flag.
Don't be fooled, though. Theta is making this look like absolutely very doable, but yeah, on a first playthrough or casually checking this out.
Yeah, and as you can see, all of those blocks fall. Oh no!
Oh god! Oh no!
Can't save that one.
Oh.
That is probably the most devastating way that I've ever died in a map is that, and I did that so many times when I was making like the playthrough video for this. It just broke my heart every time I got to that point.
And what a long checkpoint too.
It's the scariest jump in Celeste.
It is definitely the scariest jump in Celeste because those blocks will fall really quick, and if you don't jump around, you obviously can't grab the block that you need to get off of, or like get onto to get to the next checkpoint, because it will fall. So you have to quickly transition into neutraling that.
It's really, really difficult. Also, I totally messed that up. It's a really difficult jump, and it's at the end of a ridiculously long and ridiculously hard section. And when you have like the whole pressure of the entire chapter, especially for low death, it's just like, it's torture.
Shouts to Monica.
Yeah,
once again.
The gameplay is so incredibly sick on this, though. Like, for the longest time, I looked at this and I was like, this is totally unfair and mean and cruel, and I'm still right, but it's really fun. Actually, I wouldn't say it's unfair now. It's pretty solid.
Well, Celeste in general, I've always like has that feeling of something being like.
There we go.
Very nice. That's it.
Damn, nice.
Okay.
Good flag too.
Okay.
Such a big weight lifted off my shoulders when I get that jump.
It's like Celeste throws these challenges at you that at first you're like, okay, this is impossible, and then you slowly start to learn it, and you're like, okay, this is doable, and then once you're done with it, you're like, that I could do that again. Like, there's something about figuring out how to do it, and it's so cool. I think it just makes the game so rewarding.
So obviously now we've made it to the summit.
I'm sure there's no more surprises here, right?
We're definitely done when we get to the top here.
Oh, that's cute.
Congratulations to everyone.
That's absolutely adorable.
Hang on.
This would not be a Moni map if there was not just some ridiculously long, awesome ending. So the cassette room is... This was insane when I first got to it, and I know for a lot of you who've played, the cassette room is probably one of the biggest challenges too, just because there's so much going on that you have to manage, as far as like the timing on the blocks, to just touch switches, some really interesting like spike jumps, neutral jumps that you're maybe not used to. Definitely takes you out of your comfort zone when you first start getting into it. This part here was, oh
wow, those little jumps are really hard.
Yeah, it's so tight. This part is something that I still need to learn how to do. So that is a crazy good skip.
That was rude, Theta. That was just rude.
Yeah, is that totally pixel perfect?
It is pixel perfect, but there's a setup for it.
Yeah, that's just an evil thing, but
I just learned it like 2 days ago.
Yeah, well, GG for landing it first try.
What are you even standing on here?
Those are invisible cassette blocks.
Is it the shadow?
Yeah, basically.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're exactly like cassette blocks. You just can only see that they're disturbing the light around them.
Yeah.
Do those binos work?
Yes. This is like the easiest part of the chapter, but the scariest.
Yeah, it is scary, and you'll see. You got to be really careful, especially on a golden run like that. So you can see Theta just quickly dashed away because at that time the blue cassette block would have activated, and he would have been totally dead.
And I would have started the whole cassette room over.
Ooh.
Yeah, from the very beginning, not just the bottom of that. And then this room here, boom, nice.
Make sure you
Using
don't
the,
die, right?
Yep.
All right, so my death count was 23, so $23.
23.
And
That's
$23.
insane.
$23.
23
yeah.
deaths.
If anyone else wants to match that, you can see my personal best is 16 deaths on this. I actually got the
Absolutely
16
insane.
death run last night, so
Dude, let's go.
Let's go. PB's gearing up for the Modberry Cup. Thank you, Theta. That was such a sick. It was like so good that it looked easy. So I just
I really appreciate that.
absolutely crazy.
I have a couple of shout outs if I have time.
Oh, please, absolutely.
Do it.
So Habadaz made this run possible for me. Like I said before, that snowball room in the 2,000 meters section took me so long, and I hated it so much, and I didn't understand how to beat it. And he taught me a strat for that room that made it the most trivial room in the chapter. So if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be doing this run. Also, shout outs to Hedgeketch. I hope I pronounced your name right. You've got a lot of letters and numbers in your name. Hedgeketch also taught me a bunch of strats, even beyond the ones that Habadaz taught me. If it weren't for those two people, yeah, I mean, me getting this low of a death count would not be possible. Obviously, shout out to Enox for getting the golden and proving to everyone that it's possible. I still maintain that this is the hardest, but still humanly possible golden to get in the game. I don't know what anyone else feels about that. But also, shout out to my Twitch family. I don't know if anyone was here to watch, but to all my followers and subscribers, thank you so much. Your support means the world to me, and I wouldn't even be playing Celeste if it wasn't for you.
Perfect timing. Thank you so much, Theta. Thanks, Dad Bod. Okay, so we're gonna do we're gonna take a quick break as we set up the next map. We're gonna bring Moon back, and Dad Bod's gonna stick around. We're gonna see something really, really exciting. I'm not gonna say what it is just yet, though. So stay tuned, guys.